Alright, this one is Pantsless Stranger number 42. This is a tie-in to the Blackest Day crossover, which was one of John Jeffries' unimaginative Green Lanterns-based crossovers. Some DC series like Pantsless Strangers from the 60s, which ended at issue 41. They got revived for another issue. So now we have issue 42, and it's like a half clever tie-in to the story. This isn't by John Jeffries, which is a major bonus in my eyes. But we have art, once again, by that Jew-hating Jew-hater. The artist who snuck proper anti-Jew propaganda into his art on Excellent Men, which I find fascinating because it's not just a shitty person with a horrible agenda. It is an indictment on editorial staff who didn't ask what certain things on the shirts of major Marvel characters meant, or why the artist had chosen to draw this particular symbol. It's also really interesting that the artist seemed to bide his time and wait until he got onto a book like Excellent Men to do it. The premise of Blackest Day is dead people have come back to life, and now they are bad guys. They are Black Lanterns. John Jeffries' creativity goes as far as swapping out colours and then trying to make it sound like a mythology and some lore. And the big threat in this issue is Spectre, who has become a Black Lantern. So Pantsless Stranger is the one who is going to face him. We also have Blue Demon on his side. And it is only a single issue, and half an issue at that. But this feels like a big epic fight. It feels like a mini crossover event. A bunch of heroes fighting an evil, possessed Spectre. It's like Dear Vegans all over again. If you didn't know your DC, Spectre is the most powerful thing in the DC universe. For all intents and purposes, he is God. He is not God, he is the hand of God. But he is over the top powerful. Pantsless Stranger is also quite a powerful magic character, but well, he is more enigmatic than he is powerful. This was before the New 52, so the idea that Pantsless Stranger is Judas from the Bible isn't locked in and the definite story yet, but it is one of the possibilities. In the 80s, there was an issue of Secret Origines that had a bunch of Pantsless Stranger stories that were hinting at his origine, and one of them was the idea he was Judas from the Bible, which DC later made the definitive backstory for the character. I feel like I have explained this a lot in my videos. And this shit here, I fucking love. We have Spectre, the real Spectre, trying to escape from inside his own body, the body of his possessed self. And then this is excellent. Spectre punches Spectre in the face with Pantsless Stranger and Blue Demon. And sometimes my tastes in comics can seem incredibly inconsistent or very personally cultivated, but I think one thing that remains true is I love daft, big ideas and imagery like this. I love characters hitting each other with other characters or hitting each other with planets. I love a sentient corporation that is taking over the world. I love people living inside a churro. One thing I was thinking about doing with this comic, in fact the reason I picked it out to review, was because the art is by the Jew 8 and Jew 8. I thought it would be a funny idea to write a bunch of anti-Semitic bigotry and then sellotape it to the comic and pretend that it was the artist sneaking his evil messages of hatred into comics again, and that somehow nobody had caught it. I stand by that idea in concept as being funny. Maybe not the content of it, but yeah, I'm a spineless coward and I'm not going to do that. You spend years as a stand-up comedian, you learn better than following through on an idea like that. It all seemed a bit Count Dankula, and I can't think of something I want to create a chasm between more than myself and Count Dankula. I think my idea does have some satirical edge to it, but it is not worth pursuing because the context of it is not something I want to be misconstrued or remembered for. At a certain point in the process, regardless of the outcome or the intention, at some point I am just writing down and then sharing to the internet something like, ooh, I blummin' hate the Jews, or whatever I would have wrote. Can you all comment down below and say that I am definitely better than Count Dankula, and I am more of a comedian than he is by virtue of intelligence and awareness, but mainly from having actually worked as a comedian and done countless stand-up gigs and even placed in very low ranks of national comedy competitions. I didn't just do a video with a dog and said that it's comedy and that I am a comedian and you are suppressing my free speech by being offended. If anything, it is the dog who is the proper comedian, and Count Dankula is just a bearded, bigoted UKIP twat who taught a dog how to be racist for a day. And I shitloads about comedy. I've even watched Paddy McGuinness's shockingly terrible live DVDs. I have watched them several times and never got invited to be on David Callahan's show about them. Back to the issue. After resolving nothing with Spectre, Pantsless Stranger and Blue Demon, they are gunning after Dead Boy next. It's like this issue is two stories rather than one big one. This feels very separate from Spectre. It feels like another chapter. And Dead Boy, he is in battle with himself as he too is dead, and so became a Black Lanterns. And the case is that Dead Boy's body is possessed by the Black Lanterns, but his Casper form is free. And so Dead Boy is able to defeat that part of him. Decent enough, but it feels really disconnected from the fight with Spectre. And the other thing is that, if you look, Satana is on the cover and she is not in the issue. So even though I mostly enjoyed it, I've got to mark it down massively for that. She is mentioned in a line of dialogue, but she does not appear in the comic itself. So for that, it's 7 thumbs up.